What's up, everybody? I'm TK. I'm an entrepreneur, an angel investor, and also now an author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face. Believe it or not, ever since I was a little kid, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but it wasn't until I was 28 years old did I really jump into entrepreneurship. I meet so many people even today who want to become an entrepreneur, who want to do a startup or start a small business, but can't quite take the plunge. Oftentimes it's, I don't have a co-founder, or I don't know how to code, or I don't have funding. You're doing it wrong, and that's what I realized until I finally took the plunge and started the company. So in this video, I'm gonna show you my 3 steps, the 3 steps that I follow to actually launch a business and start a company and jump into entrepreneurship. Intro. Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face, and also an angel investor. On this channel, I bring you a video every Sunday on how to accelerate your life and your business. So if you're interested in that, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode like this on a Sunday. Now, let's jump right into it. If you've always wanted to start a business, but you always felt stuck, and you're waiting for the clouds to part and that perfect moment to come together, I've got news for you. As someone that has started multiple companies and sold them, that never happens. It's always messy. It's kind of like a weird hodgepodge. It's not this perfect day where you quit your job, then start the business and everything works. It doesn't work like that. So I developed this foolproof 3-step way of how to actually start a company without waiting for a co-founder, learning how to code, getting funding, or quitting your job. Step number 1, we're gonna jump right into it. Before you go into coding or building a product or trying to raise money or finding a co-founder, the first thing you should do if you've got a business idea that keeps you up at night, that you keep thinking about, is build an audience. Step 1 is build an audience around the people that would buy that product. Now, it is super cheap to start an audience today. You can start a blog, you can start an Instagram account, you can start a YouTube channel, you can join Facebook groups where these people already hang out. It costs $0 and it doesn't take a lot of skill. All it really takes is for you to authentically connect with the people that your business would be servicing. So step number 1 is always, don't waste time on all that other stuff you can't control. Focus on the one thing you can control, which is connecting with your future customers. This is very powerful because it forces you to really define who you would be selling to as part of your business. It forces you to define exactly what those people are, and it forces you to really understand who these people are, what they care about, where do they hang out, and how do you connect with them in a real way. Now, if you're thinking about starting a business to serve these people in this audience, chances are you know a thing or two about this area. If you don't know anything about this area, you probably shouldn't start a business in this area. Hate to break it to you, you're probably not gonna be successful. But because you care about this audience, because you care about this group of people, you probably know a thing or two about them. And so the second thing to do, number 2, is teach the audience a unique world view. What this means is you need to start talking to these people. You need to start engaging in these communities, and you start posting in your Instagram or your blog or your YouTube. Look, if you love writing, do a blog. If you're better with camera and you are animated, you're not shy, you can get in front of a camera, do a camera. If you like pictures with short text, do Instagram. Choose the medium that works best for you and connect with the people that are in your audience and build that audience. And once you do, talk to them about your unique world view. The reason this is important is because it starts to actually hone in on your idea. Forget the features of a product you want to build, forget the widget you want to sell, but try to talk about what are the big macro trends that are affecting these people. What are the things that keeps them up at night? What are the problems they're facing? What are the outcomes they're all driving toward? Talk about that, hone in that messaging, and talk about your unique worldview about how to solve that. You're not selling anything yet, you're literally testing out whether you've got the problems right, whether you've got the worldview right, whether your unique worldview, your idea actually resonates with this people. Now, something magical happens when you do just these 2 steps. Instead of saying, I got this crazy idea, it's gonna be so great, if only I could build it, you're starting with connecting with the people that would buy it, and you're talking to them about what the problems are in their lives, what they spend on a daily basis, what are the other things they think about beyond the scope of your idea, and you're starting to hone in on how to actually communicate your idea. And best of all, if you're doing these two things the right way, you're making connections. You're actually connecting with people that would be potential buyers, that would be potential co-founders. You're actually putting your energy out there, which gets you to connect with people that understand what you're trying to do, share your worldview, and that puts you ahead when it comes to problems like finding a co-founder or finding a technology person that can help you build it, or a UX person or a salesperson. You start connecting with all these people that share in your mission and are following you and are part of your audience, which puts you ahead of the curve. Now, before I go into number 3, let me just pause over here. If you've got this one idea, that keeps coming back to you, and you're like, man, I just really should do that. It's not just I want to be an entrepreneur because it's so cool, but you've got this one idea that you're like, this needs to exist in the world. I should be the one to bring it. Can I just get a yes in the comments? And I want you to put yes, and I want you to recognize that now is the time. All those excuses you've been making in your head, oh, I just need this to happen and that need to happen. Put yes down there, because you're acknowledging you can start doing these two things around that idea to start to learn more. Now, let me go into the final step number 3. Once you have built your audience, once you've started to engage with them and honed in on your unique worldview, you need to figure out now's the time to figure out how you can serve them in a bigger way. Give them what they want. I guarantee I've done this a bunch of times. I started with some crazy idea that I thought would be a $1 billion company, but as I engaged with that audience, as I learned more about them, I started to pivot into the idea that made the most sense. In a way, my audience came to me and told me, this is the big problem to solve. At least once it was related to the company that ended up being what we started, and the other time it was a completely different thing. But because I was in there connecting with people, talking to future customers, I actually honed in on what would make for a product or a service that my audience, that my market, the people that I want to be selling to, the people related to the idea that I started with would want. And so step number 3 is to start to figure out how you can serve them in a bigger way and give them what they want. Now, this plays out in different ways. It could play out in a way where you are building something, a technology product that solves that problem. It could play out in a way where you are creating a service where you do it for them. It could play out in a way where you create a book that teaches them how to do it in the right way. It can spiral out into all kinds of different business models. But the power of this is, by the time you decide on building that product or service, you've built an audience, and you've stress tested and you've made the connections to actually test out, is this important to them? And by the time you start to build something, your audience, your future customers have already told you what they want. And you're building something that they want, which gives you a higher level of probability of success. And most importantly, because you've put the energy out there, because you've made all these connections, because you've honed in your messaging, I guarantee, and this has happened to me, people will step up from your audience and say, hey, that's a cool idea, I want to help with that. And they could be a salesperson, they could be a visual designer, they could be an engineer, they could, whatever it is. But once you start to put the idea out there and build that audience and build that momentum, people come to you. And then funding actually works a lot easier, because you've got so much understanding on how all this fits together. When you're talking to an investor, they're like, wow, this person's really thought about it. And so to recap, number 1, build an audience. Number 2, engage with that audience, teach that audience your unique worldview around your idea. And number 3, hone it into a way to serve them in a bigger way through a product or service. Now you know the 3 steps that I follow to actually stop dreaming about entrepreneurship and jumping into actually doing it. Now, you know that you want to follow these 3 steps, but you may not know how to break out of your current pattern, the trajectory you have for your life. You may have a job right now that you're not ready to quit, and you don't know how to make the time for this, or you don't know how to get organized for this. I've got a thing for that. I've got a 45-day beast mode challenge that I've created specially for you guys. It's a challenge that teaches you how to get focused for 45 days, set a goal, and actually execute on things like this. So if you follow the link below and download the guide, it teaches you how to do a 45-day challenge so you can start to finally take action on becoming an entrepreneur and starting that business. Now, if you like this video, it would mean a lot to me if you hit the like button. When you hit the like button, the news and the message spreads, we can help more people. And most importantly, it just lets me know that this is worth it and it's helping you, and that helps me keep going. And on that note, I do a video like this every Sunday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon. That way you get notified when I do more videos on how to get focused on life, accelerate your life, and also accelerate your business when you jump right into that. Once again, I'm TK. Thanks for watching, and until next Sunday, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life. Yours is gonna be unstoppable. See you next Sunday.